Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm testing out a new foundation. It's just been released over here in the UK and this is the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation and this is what it looks like. And I saw this in my local boot store. It's brand new, it's just been released and I was like, why not go ahead and test out and see how it goes. And they also did a concealer, but I didn't pick up the concealer because I'm used to my e.l.f. concealer and I know that I really like it. So if you've seen my channel for quite a while, you'll know that I don't really have the best track record with NYX foundation. So I did try out the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat foundation a few years ago and that was the worst foundation that I've ever tried. Honestly, I put it on my skin and then after around an hour my skin just looked absolutely horrendous and it just wasn't very good. So I decided not to try out the other foundation that they brought out. I can't remember what it is, but my sister has it and she really did like it, but I was like, you know what, I'm not going to try it because I had a really bad experience with one of the foundations. So I looked at this, I looked on the Boots website and also the NYX website and I saw that it had pretty good reviews, so I thought I'd go ahead and pick it up. And I did colour match myself, but I was in a rush and I picked up the shade Medium Olive. Now with NYX they do have so many shades. They have 45 shades in this collection. They're also neutral, olive, warm and cool undertones for all of them, and they start from very, very pale to very, very dark. So if you do want to try out this foundation, it looks like that you're probably going to be able to find a shade that's going to match you because like I mentioned, it's a very wide spectrum that they have of these colours. And in all honesty, I don't know if this is going to match me because like I said, I was very quick when I was testing it out, but I think this is probably the closest match. It does have a neutral warm undertone and at the moment I am self-tanned, so hopefully it's going to match my self-tan. So on the website it doesn't really have any claims and I'm a little bit worried about testing out this foundation because it said it glows and I do have very, very oily skin and I know that I try and stay away from glowy foundations. However, I do like the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation. That's not specifically for oily skin and it creates a really nice glow on the skin and it works really well with my oils, so I'm hoping that this is going to be as good. This is also only £10 and they always have offers on in Boots. Usually there's buy one get one half price or there's money off on new products as well. So on the website it doesn't really have a lot of claims. It says the brand new Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation is so glorious. Available in an inclusive range of 45 truly flattering shades, our covetable formula delivers buildable medium coverage and a naturally radiant finish that lasts. This liquid foundation blends like a dream and even works for your skin to help create a smooth, even toned look. So it doesn't specifically say how long it's going to last on the skin. It doesn't say if it's good for all skin types. It doesn't say if it's good for sensitive skin, and I have very sensitive skin and a lot of foundations do break me out, but I'm one of those people where I'm trying to go away from the matte foundations. I want to give myself a nice healthy glow to my skin and I really like the L'Oreal True Match foundation. That one isn't specifically for oily skin but it stays on my skin all day. It just looks so nice. It gives me a really nice medium to full coverage and I'm hoping that this is probably going to do exactly the same. And on the packaging it doesn't really have anything on there. It doesn't say about what type of skin it's for. It doesn't say how long it's going to last on the skin. It doesn't even say about the coverage, so I found that out from the website. But this does contain 30 millilitres or 1.01 fluid ounces, which is the same as a usual drugstore foundation. It's also cruelty free and it's also a vegan formula as well, which I think is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my skin. We're going to zoom in and see how it looks. So I'm all zoomed in and this is what my skin looks like with no product on there. All I've done is prime my skin using my Smashbox primer water and this is how it looks. I have a lot of redness on my skin. I have a lot of blemishes. I also have one on my nose, so please do not mind that one. I do have very oily skin. I have very sensitive skin as well. I do have large pores and this doesn't say anything about oily skin or pores or sensitive skin or anything like that, so I'm not really too sure how long it's going to last for and how it's going to do. So this is just a normal squeezy tube. As you can see it has the foil on there, so it means it's not tampered with, which is perfect and this is what we like. And like I mentioned, I have absolutely no idea if this is going to match my skin because I was in a very big rush when I was trying to colour match myself. So if it doesn't match, we're going to take it down the neck and see how it goes. So I'm just going to apply this with my beauty blender and I'm just going to squirt a little bit on. And it's quite runny, to be honest. That pretty much just came out, so that's how much I'm going to put on. And please do not mind my eyebrows, the rest of my makeup, because I'm going to sort it out when I've finished putting my foundation on. Also, if you want to know where my earrings are from, they're from my Etsy store, which I'll link down below for you so you can check those out. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to one side of my face. As you can see, I do have a lot of blemishes, especially right here I have some, and then on my nose. We're going to see if it covers them up. It does say a medium coverage foundation, but it also says it's buildable, so hopefully we can build it up to be full on all the areas where I have a lot of redness. So let's see. Now that colour match is actually pretty good. So looking in my camera and in my mirror, it looks like I've done pretty well on that. So I'm really happy that I actually managed to get a shade that is relatively close to what my skin looks like. So we're just going to buff this out with my beauty blender and just see how this goes on. So this is what one layer of the foundation looks like, and I think it looks really good actually. So this is like a medium full coverage foundation, and it's covered up my blemishes, it's covered up my redness as well. It doesn't look cakey. I mean, there are certain areas where it is looking quite full. So on my cheek right here, it's looking quite full. This is where all my pores are. On my blemish right here, you can't actually see it. Obviously, you can see the little bump on there because it is a blemish, but it looks like it's covered it up really well. I don't have any redness on my skin, and it does create a really nice glow as well. And my forehead is covered up pretty well. But yeah, this has covered up pretty much everything. As you can see here, I have a lot of redness, a lot of discoloration, a lot of blemishes and things like that. Then on this side, I have basically nothing, and my skin looks perfect. Ooh, I actually like this. So I actually thought that this was going to look really, really cakey. I thought that it was going to look too glowy to the point where it looked like I have oily skin. But it's pretty good. I like the glow to it. Hopefully this isn't going to make me look oily throughout the day, and hopefully it's going to stay looking like this. This is like a demi matte finish. Now this isn't to the point where it looks like my L'Oreal True Match, where that looks like it's second skin and it just looks like my skin but better. This, you can sort of see that you have foundation on from up close. From far away, it doesn't really look too bad. But yeah, so far I'm liking this, and I think this is pretty good. I'm not going to need to build this up. I did obviously put a little bit more of the foundation on an area around here, then also my forehead, just because I felt like that I didn't put enough of the foundation on. But yeah, this is about 1 to 2 layers depending on which area my skin is, and I think it looks really good. So this is the before and this is the after, and I just think it looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead, do the other side of my face, and I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. So I've done the other side, and this is what the foundation looks like. So I do like it. It's just one of those where I'm not really used to foundations that are quite full. So even my Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, that's quite runny, doesn't look cakey on the skin. My L'Oreal True Match, which I use all the time, isn't thick, it's quite runny, it looks like a second skin finish. And this to me just seems a little bit thicker than those, and I can tell that I'm wearing foundation. It has evened out my skin tone. You didn't need a lot of this foundation to cover the redness and blemishes up, but to me, I don't know, I'm just not used to a foundation that's like this. It looks like that it's probably going to be not good on my skin. It looks like my oils are probably going to be peeking through, and that is something that's going to be worrying me throughout the whole day. So I'm going to be setting this with powder like I do with all my foundations, but this one I definitely need to. It's definitely not transfer resistant as well. I have accidentally touched my skin and it created a blotch where my finger was. This is another thing that's sort of making me think, how long is it going to last for on my skin? Especially with my oils as well, because when I have my oils coming through, it doesn't look the best and it doesn't really stay on for too long. So hopefully this is going to do really well. I do have very high hopes for it. I'm hoping that it's going to go really well, but I know that because it's a glowy foundation, it might not go so well on my skin. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. So I finished off the rest of my makeup, and this is what the foundation looks like. So I have sort of changed my mind on how the foundation looks. So when I put the rest of my products on, they just glided on so smoothly and it just looks so good on the skin. So when I was putting my concealer on, it just looks so nice. It blended like a dream. This blends out really, really easily as well for this foundation. And I've noticed as well that if I touch my skin, it doesn't come off, which is really, really good. So it feels like it's settled into my skin a little bit more. But my blush, highlighter and bronzer just went on so smoothly, just like normal. As you can see, it's on there really, really nicely. So I'm excited to see how this foundation is going to go throughout the rest of the day. Do I think it's going to last all day? I don't think I do think it's going to last that long. I feel like it might last a few hours, but I'm just sort of worried that it's going to be coming off around here like all of my foundations tend to do, and then on my forehead I have a feeling that I'm going to look very, very shiny. And at the moment I have a nice healthy glow to my skin. It does look more full than all of my other foundations that I have been using. It does look a little bit more cakey. I mean, it doesn't look cakey, but it looks like I am wearing a lot of foundation right here where my pores are, because it is accentuating them a little bit more. But we're going to see how it goes. So it's now 20 to 1 in the afternoon, so it is a little bit later for me to try out this foundation, but hopefully I'm going to come back at the end of the day and give you my final first impression. If I'll give you an update a little bit earlier, it's probably because it hasn't lasted throughout the day, so hopefully I'm going to give you my review later on today. Hi guys, so I'm back and it's now 9:30 in the evening, so I've had this foundation on now for almost 9 hours, and I feel like now is a good time for me to give you my final first impression. So I haven't actually looked at my skin during the whole day today, and I just decided I was going to go out, do everything that I needed to do, and then come back and look at my skin. I've only just got back, and honestly I am pleasantly surprised at how my foundation looks, because I honestly thought that it would be dripping off of my skin and would look absolutely disgusting by the end of the day. I also thought that it would come off after a couple of hours, because like I mentioned earlier on, when I used my last NYX foundation, that was horrendous, and that lasted probably about an hour on me, if that, and that just melted off with all my oils. And you know what, this has done really, really well. So today it hasn't been really hot or anything like that. It's been really raining. We have had a storm here, and I think it's Storm Dennis that we've had, so we've had really strong winds, rain, things like that, and this has done really well. So I can see that it's come off on the sides of my nose around here, and then where my pores are, it has accentuated them, and my pores do look pretty massive. So I would probably just need to use a pore filling primer if I was to use this again. Now, my skin didn't feel irritated while I was wearing it, but I have seen a few reviews where people have been saying that this has broken them out quite a lot. And I have very sensitive skin, I have acne prone skin as well, so I don't know if this is going to be good on me by tomorrow. I don't know how my skin's going to react to it, because it does feel quite thick on the skin, and I am worried about getting a reaction, because I do get reactions to quite a lot of foundations. So it only really seems like it's come off on the sides of my nose. There's a bit on my forehead that's come off as well. I can see some redness and some blemishes coming through. But my highlighter, contour, bronzer and blush are all still on, and it looks really good for me. I actually think that this is a really good foundation. So I will try it out again and see how it goes. Obviously I'm going to see how my skin reacts to it as well, because like I mentioned, it might end up breaking me out like a couple of people have had before. But I'm actually happy with it, and if I was to wear this foundation to work and then I had to go out after work, I think that this would be pretty good. I mean, I've been wearing it for 9 hours now, and it doesn't really seem like that it's any different to when I first put it on, other than the couple of areas that I've noticed. And it just doesn't look like it's come off on the sides of my face where most of my foundation has come off, so I think it looks pretty good, and I'm still pretty happy with how it looks. Like I said, I am liking the foundation, and I'm going to test it out a little bit more and see how it goes. And for £10, I feel like this foundation has done really good, and it's kept all of my oils at bay. It didn't make me look super glowy, but it just gave me a nice glow to the skin, and the rest of my products just glided on really well. So this is my review of the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you've tried it out, and if you like it or if you don't, just comment down below to let me know. And make sure that you give this video a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye!